My boyfriend broke up with me to date my boss and take credit for my project, but he didn't check the timestamp on the patent I filed 2 weeks ago. It was the ultimate workplace cliché, wrapped in a nightmare. I'd been working on Project Catalyst for 8 months. It was a predictive logistics algorithm designed to save our shipping firm about $40 million a year. It was my baby. I spent weekends on it. I spent holidays on it. And Liam, my boyfriend of 3 years who worked in IT, was right there beside me, or so I thought. He was always so helpful. Let me back up your drive, honey. Let me proofread your code. I thought he was being supportive. In reality, he was data mining. The blow came on a Monday morning. I walked into the office, ready to finalize the pitch deck, and saw Liam's desk was empty. He called me 5 minutes later, no face-to-face, just a cold voice over the phone telling me we were at different stages in life and that he needed to focus on his career. I was heartbroken, but I still had my job right. Wrong. An hour later, an emergency all-hands meeting was called by Karen, my department head. Karen had been riding me hard for months, criticizing my work ethic while producing nothing herself. I walked into the conference room, and there they were. Liam and Karen sitting together at the head of the table. Not just sitting together, leaning in, whispering, sharing a distinct, comfortable intimacy. Then the projector turned on. The title slide didn't say Project Catalyst. It said the Velocity Initiative. But as soon as the first slide loaded, I knew. It was my code, my flowcharts, my projections. They had even kept the typo on slide 12 that I hadn't fixed yet. Karen stood up and announced that she and Liam had been collaborating secretly on a revolutionary new system that would change the company. She looked right at me with a smug, triumphant smirk that said, "I took your man, and now I'm taking your career." The CEO was there. The board of directors was there. They were eating it up. Liam was answering technical questions using answers I had practiced with him in our living room. They were being hailed as visionaries. I sat there, silent, letting them finish the entire presentation. I let them soak in the applause. I let the CEO shake their hands and talk about bonuses and promotions. Then, during the Q&A, I raised my hand. "Karen, Liam," I said, my voice steady, "this is incredible work, truly, but I'm curious about the IP registration. Who owns the patent on the core algorithm?" Karen rolled her eyes. "The company owns it, obviously. We developed it on company time." "Right," I said, standing up. "But see, I noticed the code structure is identical to a personal project I've been working on. A project I filed a provisional patent for exactly 14 days ago." The room went quiet. Liam's face went pale. He knew I was meticulous, but he didn't think I was paranoid. "You see," I continued, pulling a document out of my folder and sliding it down the long table toward the CEO. "I suspected my home server was being accessed remotely a few weeks ago, so I protected my asset. That document is a receipt from the US Patent and Trademark Office. It details every line of code you just presented, timestamped 2 weeks before you claim you started collaborating." The CEO picked up the paper. He looked at the date. He looked at the description. Then he looked at Karen and Liam. "This is dated the 12th, the CEO said, his voice dropping an octave. "Karen, your project log says you started this on the 18th. It's a coincidence," Karen stammered, but she was sweating now. "It's not a coincidence," I said. "It's theft. And since that patent is in my name, and I developed the core kernel on my personal hardware before bringing it to work, you too just presented stolen intellectual property to the board." The silence that followed was heavy enough to crush them. The CEO didn't yell. He just pointed to the door. Security escorted them out 10 minutes later. They didn't just lose their jobs. The company sued them for breach of contract to distance themselves from the liability. I got Karen's office. I got the promotion. And best of all, I got to watch Liam pack his box of belongings while security watched, realizing he traded a patent holder for a fraud.